Pandami Bante, and good morning to everyone in the Western Hemisphere. Welcome to today's lesson, lesson 17 on Supra-mundane consciousness. I am Tiong Han, and I am the meeting co-host who will be helping Bante and everyone in today's session. May we invite Bante to start the teaching, please? Thank you, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, let's start our today's Abhidhamma study and reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Good morning and welcome to lesson 17 of Abhidhamma study. We are going to talk about the supra-mundane consciousness. We already studied mundane consciousness in former lessons. We have studied about the mundane consciousness, is called the Lokiya Chitta. So mundane consciousness are Lokiya Chitta in English, and there are 81 Lokiya Chitta. Now we are going to study Lokuttara Chitta. So in English, supra-mundane consciousness. So before we continue our further study, we need to look back lesson 5. The table about the individual. So there are 12 types of individual, Ukala. So for Puthujjana, worldlings or ordinary person. And among the Puthujjana, 12 types of ordinary person, the highest one is Tihetuka. Tihetuka Puthujjana. This is triple-rooted individual. That is the person or the ordinary person who can attain the enlightenment in his life, in their life. So being born as a Tihetuka Puthujjana, triple-rooted individual, one can attain enlightenment if he or she has the other condition. But the lowest 3%, 3 Puthujjana, are not able to attain enlightenment in their life, in that very life. So to attain the enlightenment, we have to be born as Tihetuka, triple-rooted individual. So for the Tihetuka individual, if he practices Vipassana meditation and has the other condition such as the perfection and the other supporting condition, he could attain the enlightenment. There are 8 noble persons. So it means that after the attainment of enlightenment, he becomes noble person. So these are the noble person, the 8 noble person. This is the order according to the order of attainment. So when triple-rooted individual practice Vipassana meditation, when the inside knowledge is mature enough, he may attain the first one, Sādhu Mega, the path of stream entry. Then he is called as the Sādhu Megatana because at the moment of path consciousness is called the Megatana. It is considered as the standing on the Mega, or standing on the moment of Mega. That's why the Megatana. After the, as the result of Mega, there the fruition arises. The same name in the similar to the wholesome, which is the cause. So the name of fruition also called this fruition of stream entry. Then, because he is considered as he is standing on the pala, that's why he is palatana. So fruition, the person who stand on the fruition moment of stream entry. In this way, if he continue his vipassana meditation, he will attain all the path and fruition one after another. In this way, for first one, Sādhu Mega, to the seventh one, Arhata Mega, that noble person is recognized as the trainee, Sikha or Sikha. He is on the way of training. That's why it is called the trainee. After that, finally, he attained the enlightenment level of fruition consciousness of Arhat. That is the final stage of enlightenment. When he attained that final stage of enlightenment, he is called Arhat, and also Asikha. He does not need to train anymore for the enlightenment. This is the person, how the person can develop in mental training. So in this review, we regard the Tihetuka Puthujana triple-rooted person. He is able to attain the enlightenment. Then, according to the attainment of the enlightenment, he is recognized as the noble person, and according to the level of Mega and Pala. So you see the number shown in the blue color, they are Mega and 1, 3, 5, 7. So altogether there are 4 Mega, and the number in green colors are Phala, fruition. So there are 4 fruition. In this way, we understand them 4 Mega and 4 fruition. Okay, let's continue. So there are 4 types of Mega Citta and 4 types of Phala Citta. The first one is Sādhu Mega Citta. So now we are studying the consciousness. So we will talk about the consciousness, which is called Citta in Pali. In previous slides, we had talked about the individual. So that is person, Megatana and Palatana. Here, the consciousness arises in that person's mind is called the Sādhu Mega Citta. So it is translated as the path consciousness of stream entry. So here in this case, regarding the name, we need to learn about the Pali word, but I didn't write down because it makes you, the difficulty to remember. But if you could learn, and then you can read them in page number 67 and 67. And for more information, you can read in page number 369, 359 of the Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma. But we will cover all the meaning later. But now, just to know the meaning of Sotapatti Magga. So here, Sota and Apatti, you can divide it into two. Sota is current of the water, or like this. So current, which is flowing to the destination. So flowing to ocean or flowing to somewhere. And that is called the Sota. Its original meaning is Sota is the current, or sometimes it is refers to the ear or ear sensitivity, etc. And here in this case, Sota refers to the current, which is flowing to the destination. Here in this case, the destination is Nibbana. So Nibbana is destination. The current flowing to Nibbana is Noble Eightfold Path. So here, Sota, current, refers to Noble Eightfold Path. That is the irreversible path, never return. So entering, Apatti is entering. Sota and Apatti entering to the current, which never reverse. So just directly flowing to the final destination of Nibbana. So the attainment of the Sotapatti Magga, or in other way, the arising of the path consciousness of stream entry in the mind, that person is flowing to Nibbana, is just going to Nibbana, never return. This types of consciousness is called the Sotapatti Magga by this meaning. Then, second one is Sakadagami Magga. Here, Sakadagami, second agami. So two Y is combined as Sakadagami. So if we divide it into two to know the original meaning, second and agami. Second is once or one time. Agami is returning, one who return. So Sakadagami is once returner. And the consciousness arising in that path moment is called the Sakadagami Magga Citta, the path consciousness of once returning. And the third one is Anagami Magga Citta. It is translated as the path consciousness of non-returning. So Anagami is Na and Agami. So Na has the meaning of objection. So non-returning is never returned to the sensual world, sensual planes. That is why he's called the non-returner. The consciousness to make non-returner is the path consciousness of non-returning. Then the last path consciousness is Arahata Magga Citta. That is the consciousness which makes the person as Arahat. So the path consciousness of Arahatship. Then we have found the four Magga Citta from Sotapatti Magga to Arahata Magga Citta. In the same way, the resulting consciousness are four. So Sotapatti Phala-citta, that's fruition consciousness of stream entry, etc. So Sakadagami Phala-citta, the fruition consciousness of once returning. And Anagami Phala-citta, then Arahata Phala-citta. So according to the order of the arising in the mental process, after the arising of Sotapatti Magga Citta, then the Sotapatti Phala-citta follow. So in this way, they comes in pairs. So Magga, then Phala. in the way we count the individual, Sodapati Megatana, Sodapati Pulatana. In this way, the consciousness arises. So we will learn how the Mega Chitta and Phala Chitta are arising in the cognitive process in the chapter 4. But now we need to remember the classification of consciousness. Then we will make clear how they arise in real process. So wholesome consciousness 4 and resultant consciousness 4, it becomes the 8 supramundane consciousness, 8 Lokuttara, Atta Lokuttara Chitta in Pali. So here we have to understand, and also we have to note, there is no functional consciousness in Lokuttara Chitta. If you review, you will see the wholesome, beautiful, wholesome conscious, beautiful sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, 5 material sphere consciousness, and immaterial sphere consciousness. In these 3 groups, you will find the functional consciousness in the order wholesome consciousness, resultant consciousness, and functional consciousness. But in case of Lokuttara Chitta, supramundane consciousness, there is no functional consciousness. That is the difference. So the reason is mentioned in page 68 of the Comprehensive Manual of Abhidhamma. That is to say, so we have to remember what is the difference between wholesome consciousness and functional consciousness in other groups. The difference is individual. Wholesome consciousness arises in ordinary person and trainees, while functional consciousness arises in Arhat's mind. That is the difference between wholesome consciousness and functional consciousness. And wholesome consciousness can produce the result, but functional consciousness does not produce result. Okay, so here in Lokuttara Chitta, after the attainment of Mega, Mega is wholesome. After the attainment of Mega, as a result of Mega, the Phala consciousness arises. So Mega and Phala, wholesome and resultant. Then according to the nature of the consciousness, when the Arhat enters fruition consciousness, fruition attainments or fruition entries, the only fruition consciousness arises, no functional consciousness. So in the other moment of Arhat's life, the consciousness of the functional consciousness or sense sphere, beautiful consciousness, and when he entered to the jhana, the functional consciousness of 5 material sphere consciousness or immaterial sphere consciousness arise. But at the moment of entering fruition attainment, the only fruition consciousness arises. That's why there is no points to arise for functional consciousness. This is the reason why there is no functional consciousness in Lokuttara Chitta. So it means to make it easier to remember, you can understand nothing to do with the functional consciousness. That is why there's no Lokuttara Chitta and no functional Lokuttara Chitta. So if we follow to explain for more information about this issue, so when the Mega Chitta arises, the Mega Chitta eradicate all the refinements, respective refinements in every stages of Mega Chitta. After the irrigation by the Megachitta, these defilements cannot arise again in that person's mind. That's why the Megachitta does not need to repeat. That is one information to keep in mind. So Megachitta does not need to repeat, because when it removes defilements, it can completely removement. So completely removing. No need to do it again. No need to remove again. So the arising of Megachitta, the purpose of arising of Megachitta is to remove the defilements and to experience the Nibbana. So to experience the Nibbana, the fruition consciousness can make to experience the Nibbana. But for the Megachitta to remove the defilements, so one time removing is enough, because the defilements which is removed by the Megachitta never arise again. So nothing to do with the consciousness to repeat in the Arhat's mind, similar to the Megachitta, which is regarded as the Lokuttara Kusala, or wholesome Lokuttara consciousness. So the nature of functional consciousness is similar to the wholesome, but just not producing any resultants. That is why there is no point to repeat as a functional consciousness. This is the reason why there is no functional consciousness in Lokuttara Citta. In order to understand the state of Lokuttara Citta, we need to learn about the Loka, Samsara, Nibbana, etc. So Loka is translated as the world. So we already studied the Okasa Loka like this. So that is the 31 plane of existence. Here, the Loka is the world. The world refers to the consistence of the 5 aggregates of clinging. This is called the Upadana Khanda. So Khanda is aggregates. Upadanas, the clinging. So clinging aggregates. This is called the Upadana Khanda. Here, Loka does not refer to the plane of existence, but here refers to the Upadana Khanda. Then another one, Samsara, the cycle of rebirth and death. The cycle of rebirth and death is called the Samsara. So Samsara is, in the other way, it can be considered as the process of the aggregates, clinging aggregates, rebirth and death, arising and vanishing. In this way, so samsara is the cycle of rebirth and death. In the beings can be born in any life, start with the rebirth, and when the life ends, end with the death. Okay, and this samsara is in the 31 plane of existence. It is considered as the full of suffering in every planes. Being born as a person or as an individual, it is under the suffering. So this is samsara. We already learned about the 31 plane of existence. Then nibbana is the cessation of suffering. And this is out of the 31 plane of existence. Is considered as the liberation from samsara. So samsara and out of samsara. Samsara and nibbana. So here, loka. So the consciousness that cause arising in the loka, usually arising in the loka, is called the lokiya. And here the lokuttara citta, the consciousness that pertains to the process of transcending. Here, transcending is uttara, and the world loka. So transcending the world. In order to transcend the world, we need to practice to attain the lokuttara. So to overcome. This is lokuttara citta, so the consciousness, to transcend the world. The world here refers to the uparana khanda. As long as one has the 5 clinging aggregate, he will be reborn and need to death, need to die. So this is running in the samsara. After the attainment of the lokuttara citta, he will be out of the 31 plane of existence, which is liberation from suffering. So cessation of suffering. This is nibbana. Then, and this type of consciousness leads to liberation. So the lokuttara citta leads to liberation from samsara and also to the attainment of nibbana. So attainment of nibbana and liberation from samsara caused by the lokuttara citta, the conscious supra-mundane consciousness. So mega and phala. So lokuttara citta, the wholesome consciousness is mega, and the fruition consciousness is phala. So let's see about the mega. So mega is translated as path, and also maganga. So you may remember in the 5 materials pure consciousness, we study jhana and jhananga. These are jhana fetters. Here, the path mega and maganga path fetter, and also mega citta. So here, when we study about the jhana, jhana is the attainment achieved through can be achieved through the development of concentration meditation or serenity meditation, samatha. But here, in this case, mega is attainment in the development of insight meditation, so vipassana meditation. Okay, this is the mega. What is really mega? What is called mega? As we have studied in jhana, jhana is the unification of jhana fetters. In the same way here, the mega is the unification of 8 fetters. 8 fetters called the Noble Eightfold Path. It's called the 8 fetters are called the Meganga. It's a Noble Eightfold Path. So Noble Eightfold Path, you may already learn about that here. First one, right view, samadhi, right intention, sammasankappa, and 3, right speech, sammawacha, right action, sammakamanta, right livelihood, sammajiva. These 3 are considered as the moral training. And the 6, right effort, sammavayama, right mindfulness, sammasati, right concentration, sammasamadhi. So they need to work in balance. They need to work together at the moment of the path consciousness. So the power of the unification is called the path. So the working of, or the unification of the 8 fetters of Noble Eightfold Path is called the mega. So mega is the unification. Then each one of them can be called the meganga, path fetters. So path fetters. Then let's review the meaning of the mega. So here mega means path. So path lead to where? So lead to liberation from samsara and lead to attainment of nibbana. So that is the meaning of mega. So not the real path. It is the path to nibbana. At the same time, the path, when the path arises, it eradicates the defilements, kilesa. So we will learn how it refines. It eradicates the defilements. Then the consciousness which is accompanied by mega is called the mega citta. So now mega, meganga, path fetters are 8, and mega citta. We need to make clear. So mega refers to the unification of the 8 fetters, and 8 fetters are called the meganga, and the consciousness accompanied by the mega is called mega citta. And you can see in page 67, not in page 54, page 67 of comprehensive manual of Abhidhamma. So, okay, after the mega, let's see the 4 functions of mega. When the mega consciousness or the path consciousness arise, what are the functions that performed by the mega consciousness? So the path consciousness simultaneously performs the 4 functions. So at the same time, it performs when just arise only one moment. The mega citta arise only one moment. So arise and just passed away. In the single moment, it can perform 4 functions. 4 functions. So related to the 4 truths. So here, the first one, the function of prajna. So function of the prajna. Prajna is the full understanding. Full understanding what? Full understanding of suffering. So the suffering is called dukkha satya. So 4 truth. Dukkha satya. Then second function is pahana. Pahana kicca. So pahana is the abandonance. Abandoning what? Abandoning the craving. So craving is samudaya satya. So abandoning of craving. Then the third function is sachikiriya in Pali. It is the realization of experience of nibbana. Nibbana is nirodha satya. Then the last function of mega citta is bhavana. So bhavana is the development of Noble Eightfold Path. So development is bhavana. Development of Noble Eightfold Path is Noble Eightfold Path is mega satya. So in this way, with respect to 4 truths, 4 noble truths, mega perform 4 functions at the moment of arising. Only in one moment, it can perform 4 functions. So understand, abandoning, realization, and development. So through the development, at the moment, the experience the nibbana. Then let's see the mega. Talk about the mega and phala. Mega is path and phala is fruition. So mega, the path consciousness has the function of eradicating, just as the defilements. So eradication of defilements is done by the mega. And the phala consciousness does not eradicate the defilements because the mega is already done. And by following the mega citta, the phala consciousness arises. At the moment, it experiencing the degree of liberation made possible by the corresponding path. So Sodapati mega, then Sodapati phala, etc. So just trying to just experience the liberation. Then the mega consciousness is called the kusala citta, wholesome state, and the phala consciousness, the fruition consciousness, is called vipaka citta, a resultance. Here, this is according to the nature. If we classify consciousness according to the nature, jati, wholesome, unwholesome, fruition, functional. So, 4 mega consciousness will be inserted to the wholesome group, and 4 phala consciousness will be inserted to resultant group. So here, we need to know that each past consciousness arises only once, never repeat, only once along the samsara. If you attain the enlightenment, you will get the mega consciousness only once, one time. And it endures only for one mind moment, so only 3 phases. It's very short. Then the corresponding fruition consciousness arise immediately after the path. So this is one occasion the fruition consciousness arises. It is just after the respective path consciousness. So immediately after the path moment in the same cognitive series. And when it arises in the same cognitive series with the path consciousness, it endures for 2 or 3 mind moments. It's longer than mega moment. Mega moment is only one. And when phala moment follow, it arises 2 moments or sometimes 3 moments. We will understand why it becomes 2 or 3, not in the specific number. We will understand later, okay? So then after the arising of the cognitive series where the mega consciousness followed by the 2 or 3 mind moment of phala consciousness. Later, when the noble disciple, so after the attainment, he or she becomes the noble disciple. So that noble disciple enter the meditated attainment of fruition, not the path. Just the meditative attainment of fruition can be enter again by the noble disciple later. So when noble disciple enter the meditative attainment of fruition, the fruition consciousness can be repeated. The repeateds will arise in the process again and again. Or with the practice, it might endure for many mind moments here. So it can repeat as many mind moments. So only the fruition moment, fruition consciousness can repeat in the noble person's mind. So we need to make sure mega consciousness arises only once and for only one mind moment. Upada, Titi, and Banga. Only 3 phases. Then after the attainment of the mega in the cognitive process, then later the noble disciple entered to the attainment of fruition. This is called the phala samapatti. At the moment of phala samapatti, the fruition consciousness can arise for many mind moments. You can read in page number 66 and 68. Okay, so this is about the mega and phala. Then let's continue to learn about the feathers. Feathers are called the sanyojana in Pali. So sanyojana, feathers eradicated by path, mega. So as we have said, the mega eradicate the defilement, but phala does not eradicate. Here, the feathers eradicated by the path. Sotapatti mega chitta, Sakaragami mega, Anagami mega chitta, Arata mega chitta. Yes, Sotapatti mega chitta eradicated 3 types of feathers. They can tire us, the feathers can tire us, the individual in the samsara. So in order to escape from this bound of the samsara, we need to cut off the feathers. So by the arising of Sotapatti mega, it performs eradication or cutting off the feathers. So here, first one, personality views or Sakaya Ditti, doubt, Vichikicha, and adherence to rights and ratios called Silabhata Paramasa. 3 feathers are cut off by Sotapatti mega. So by the arising of Sotapatti mega, there is no more 3 feathers. Then Also, from the citta, some citta cannot arise after the moment of the Sotapatti Mega Citta. So after the mind movement of Sotapatti Mega Citta, the five consciousness cannot arise. You can check in the table. So here 4 citta rooted in greed associated with wrong view. These are Lobha Mula Citta, Tetikata Sampayutta. And the citta rooted in delusion associated with doubt. This is Moha Mula Citta. This is called the Vichikicha Sampayutta. So altogether, 5 citta will not arise after the moment of Sotapatti Mega Citta. Then, after the moment of Sakaragami Mega, that will not change because the Sakaragami Mega does not eradicate any fetters. It just reduces the grosser forms of the sensual desire and evil. So only it reduces, not eradicate any fetters or any defilements. So here, then the third one, Anagami Mega Citta, remove sensual desire, kamaraga, and evil vyapadas. 2 fetters are removed by the Anagami Citta. So along with the removing of the kamaraga and vyavada, here vyavada evil is hatred. So 2 citta rooted in hate are removed. So after the arising of Anagami Mega Citta, the 2 consciousness will not arise in that person's mind. Then Arahata Mega Citta. So Arahata Mega Citta remove the 5 fetters or Rupa Raga, which is desire for 5 material existence. So desire, as long as we have desire, we will be reborn there. So for the sensual desire, which make to be reborn in the sensual realms, is removed by the Anagami Mega, but still remain the desire for 5 material existence. So that is removed by the Arahata Mega Citta. Then also Arupa Raga, the desire for immaterial existence. So after the removement of the desire for 5 material sphere, then if we have desire for immaterial sphere immaterial sphere realms, we will be reborn there. So Arahata Mega remove desire for 2 Brahma world, 2 types of Brahma world. So no more reborn in the Brahma world 2. Then conflicts, mana, and restlessness, udacha, and ignorance, avijja. So these are 5 fetters eradicated by Arahata Mega Citta. So after the arising of Arahata Mega Citta, there is no more unwholesome consciousness in Arahat's mind. So here we need to understand, after the Arahata Mega Citta, there's no more unwholesome consciousness, because Arahata Mega remove all the remaining unwholesome fetters or unwholesome nature from the person's nature. Unwholesome nature of unwholesome mentalities are removed by the Arahata Mega Citta. So here, and there are 2 types of fetters. One is the lower fetters, Orambhagiya Sanyojana, and the others group higher fetters, they are called Uddambhagiya Sanyojana. So the lower fetters are removed by the Sotapatti Mega to the Anagami Mega, the lower Mega. And the higher fetters of Uddambhagiyas are removed by the Arahata Mega. So these 5 are higher fetters, and these 2 groups eradicated by Sotapatti Mega Citta and Anagami Mega Citta are the lower fetters. These are Orambhagiya. So that is the how the mega chitta eradicates the feathers. Feathers are called sanyojana. As long as one is tied up by these feathers, he cannot escape from the samsara. Then after the attainment of the mega, eradicating the respective feathers, one becomes the noble person of fruition. It's called the palatana. So Sotapatti palatana. The Sotapatti palatana is the person who has reached the experience of stream entry. So after the attainment of the Sotapatti mega, he becomes the Sotapatti palatana. So final deliverance in a maximum of 7 lives. So he was reborn only 7 lives. Then no more reborn. No more reborn means his aggregate will be extinguished. Because no more arising. Finish up. Then also after the attainment of the Sotapatti mega becoming a Sotapatti phala, then he will be never being born in Hopu plane of existence. So escape from the being born in Hopu state of existence, apaya. So the Sotapatti phala, Thana person escape. He will never be born in Hopu plane of existence. So if we afraid of being born in the Hopu state of existence, we need to practice to attain the Sotapatti mega and phala at least. And second one is Sakaragami Palatana. He also has reached the experience of once returning mega. And he at most one more time in this world he will reborn one more time. Then Anagami Palatana, he is the person who has, after reaching the experience of non-returning, never reborn in sensuous plane. So if he could not attain to the Arhata mega for the next state of enlightenment, he will be reborn in the Brahma world. Brahma world, except the Asanyasaka. But he will not be reborn in sensual planes. So he can reborn in 5 material sphere world. Then Arhata Palatana, the last person or highest person, after reaching the experience of arhatship, he has destroyed the enemy considering the defilements. So all the defilements are removed, all the unwholesome nature are removed. So he has no more life. He has no more attachment. He has no more life, no more future life. This is the arhatship. So Arhata Palatana. Okay, let's continue to enumerate the consciousness. So in next lesson, we will review all types of consciousness. So we already studied the 81 mundane consciousness. Then if we add the 8 Lokuttara Citta, supra-mundane consciousness to 81 mundane consciousness, there will be 89 consciousness. So that is without jhana. Without jhana, Lokuttara Citta, supra-mundane consciousness are only 8 in number. But with jhana, it multiplied by the jhana, it becomes the 14 supra-mundane consciousness. Lokuttara Citta become 14. So it means the Lokuttara Citta, mega, 4 mega, and 4 phala can be associated with the jhana. If they are associated with jhana, 5 jhana, so it becomes the 40 supra-mundane citta. So 8 to 40 is by jhana, 5 jhana. So here Lokiya 81 and Lokuttara 40, it becomes the 121 consciousness of the enumeration of consciousness. So it is enlarged because the Lokuttara 8 becomes 40. It becomes 89 to 121. So sometimes we count the consciousness in 89. Sometimes we count the consciousness in the 121 according to who do the respect is Mandaphadas. Some related to the jhana fetters. Some are included in the jhana fetter. The Mandaphadas or jhana fetter related to the 121. The others related to the 89. So here, the name of jhana, same as the 5 material sphere jhana, the first jhana, second jhana, third jhana, fourth jhana, and fifth jhana. So each of the jhana can associate with supramundane consciousness. So it becomes the 40. This classification is useful to understand, to identify according to the feeling. So in order to identify the consciousness according to accompanying feeling, we need to know which jhana. So here, 4 types of jhana and altogether 32 supramundane consciousness are accompanied by join. So Somanasa Sahagata. So among the 40 Lokuttara Chitta, you can find the 32 Somanasa Sahagata consciousness accompanied by joy. And the last group of the 5th jhana consciousness, only 8 consciousness are accompanied by equanimity. So among the 40 Lokuttara Chitta, you can understand the Somanasa Sahagata Chitta 32 and Upekkha Sahagata Chitta 8. So this is the way how we can classify the Lokuttara Chitta according to feeling, accompanying feeling. So in the next lesson, we will classify all types of consciousness in different ways. So we need to remember there's 54 sensual sphere consciousness, 15 5 material sphere consciousness, and 12 immaterial sphere consciousness, and the last group of supramundane consciousness, 8 in short and 40 in large. Okay, now we already studied about the Lokuttara Chitta according as mentioned in the usually mentioned in the Chitta chapter, but we need to learn more about the Lokuttara Chitta, how they arise, how these consciousness arise in the mental process, and about the noble person in the father's chapters, in father's lesson. Okay, that's all for now. I'm going to stop here, and then we will continue to Q&A session.
Thank you, Bante. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Bante, so thank you very much for your teachings today. May Bante please lead us in making aspirations and sharing of merits, please.
Okay, let's share our merits for the aspiration. Okay, so please follow me. Imina punya kamena.
Iminya punya kamena.
Ami bala samagamo.
Mame bala samagamo.
Satam samagamo hodu.
Satang samagamo hotu.
Yava nibbana patiya.
Yava nibbana patiya.
Idam me punyam.
Idam me punyam.
Asavakya vahang hodu.
Asavakaya vahang hotu.
Idam me punyam.
Idam me punyam.
Nibbana sapachayo hodu.
Nibbana sapachayo hotu.
Mama punya bhagam.
Mama punya bhagam.
Sabha satanam bhajemi.
Sabha satanam bhajemi.
Te sabbe.
Te sabbe.
Me samam.
Me samam.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Punya bhagam labantu.
Sadhu, sadhu,
Sadhu,
sadhu.
sadhu. Thank you everyone, and thank you Bante for your time and participation. If you have any questions, please remember to put them in the Google Sheets. Till we meet again next Sunday, may all be well and happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.